welcome to the Ultraflex Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Sutton. With me are my friends, the Green Machine, Rob Green.
What's up, guys?
And Mr. Zen himself, Ryan Wheeler. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
So good. Way to bring the energy. I like it. Rob, a little bit of a bye week last week for us. Rob was out camping. How was camping?
Been off the grid for like a week, so trying to catch up on all the news and everything that's happened. But it was fun. It was nice to get away and just sort of refresh.
And
ready to go now for football season.
This podcast just isn't the same without the GM with us. So
all right.
we had to wait. Speaking of catching up on the news, luckily there wasn't much. So usually we would do around the league, but there are a couple injuries, but nothing too crazy that happened. Obviously, we had the Deshaun Watson announcement, but then they appealed, so no news really to speak of there yet. So we're going to start something. We're going to start the podcast off with something fun. The fact that Rob went camping made us think about like the best places or best time to have a beverage. So I'll go ahead and start off. I'm going to be ranking, or we will all be ranking our top 3 places to have a beverage of choice. I'll be sticking with beer. So just to give everyone an idea of some of the honorable mentions for myself, one honorable mention was being on the boat and drinking a beer. You know, the sun's out. You're probably doing some tubing. You're hanging out with friends or family. Also an honorable mention, being at a sporting event. For me, I'm a baseball fan, so hanging out, watching some baseball, drinking a beer, having a hot dog. But for my top 3, number 3 is cracking open that first beer at 1 p.m. on a Sunday.
That's
the Bills game just kicked off. You probably got some food there, probably got some buffalo dip, probably got some apps flowing. Friends and family are all there to watch the game. So that first beer on a Sunday is always one of the best ones for me.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't understand why you said 1 p.m. until you just explained it. I didn't like correlate the beer with the football. I just thought like 1 p.m. on a Sunday. I was like, I don't know what's special about 1 p.m., but I mean,
that's just the best time to crack one.
that's not a fair one.
To be
this
clear,
is only during football season, I'm assuming.
To be clear, it's not like random July 1 p.m. get out of church if you go to church and crack a beer. It's strictly for football season.
This isn't a country song, dude.
Yeah, our whole life. I'll say our whole life is a country song. We're from a small town. We like sports.
We all lost our dogs.
We all lost our dogs. We all married someone from our high school. We are literally a country song. Number 2, sitting around a campfire and drinking a beer. To me, there's not much that's more relaxing, and this is why it came up, because Rob was camping again. There's not much more relaxing than sitting around a campfire, just taking everything in and sipping on a beer. For me, number 1 is if you're out with your friends playing golf and drinking beer. That's, to me, the best time to have a beer. It's 4 hours for me to get out and kind of relax and regroup mentally. And to me, there's nothing better than slamming some beers while you do it. So my top 3 are beer at 1 o'clock on a Sunday during football season, campfire beers, and then golf beers.
I like it.
Like it also.
I'll go second. I have one of the same, and it kind of fits the theme of me coming back from camping. So my 3 on my beer ranking list is the campfire beers. Whether it's you're out camping or whether you're in their backyard having a campfire, it's a perfect time to crack a cold one. I forgot to do my honorable mentions too, since Anthony did those first. I love the golf beer as well. I think that's you can't really beat that. when else can you crack a beer at 10 in the morning and not feel bad about it?
Where else can you legally drink and drive?
That too.
Are you supposed to? Is that okay?
To have a beer while you drink or while you drive a golf cart?
I don't mean are you supposed to drink beer and drive a golf cart. I mean, like, is it like okay to do that? I've never even like thought to ask.
I don't think it says anywhere not to do that, does it?
Oh, cool. Okay.
If it does, I've missed that. I don't know.
Let's just be clear. We are not at all advocating to drink and drive.
No, definitely not.
Unless you're on a golf.
Golf
With-
cart,
again-
okay.
And if you're drinking a beer a hole or even like a beer every 2 holes, then make sure you're not driving home.
Or in my case, if you have a beer while you're playing golf, then you can't drive home.
All right. So my second honorable mention was the 1 p.m. Sunday beer for football season. That honestly, I didn't think of it that way when I was doing this list, but once you said it, I was like, yeah, that could have fit really anywhere on my list, up to maybe even number 1. But number 2 on my list, I had tailgate beers, whether that's for any sporting event. I mean, Bill's tailgates, you can't beat them. Love a cold beer at a Bill's tailgate, or even a concert tailgate. Great time for beers.
What's special about a Bills tailgate is you get to drink some beer and then get thrown through a table. So,
or throw someone through a table.
Or get covered in ketchup and mustard.
Or all the above. Makes for a good Sunday. Or maybe a Monday night. Bills Titans, week 2.
Let's go, Titans.
And to round out my top 3, which for me is my favorite beer, just hands down, no doubt about it, the grilling beer. I love to grill, and I love to have a beer in my hand while I grill. It just goes perfectly together, whether you're flipping some burgers or some dogs, making a steak. The beer is perfect for grilling.
Do you ever pour the beer on whatever you're grilling?
I do not. I'm sure some people do, but
yeah, when we were growing up, my dad used to do that, but I've never cooked with that.
like on his burgers or something.
Not really burger, mostly brats.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Then I get a beer brat.
Mm-hmm.
If you buy beer brats and then put beer on it, is that overkill though?
That's a beer brat.
Yeah, cancels out. Double negative.
That's a lot of beer. So what was your top 3 again?
3 was campfire beers, 2 was tailgate beers, and number 1, grilling beers.
All right. So we got 2 campfire beers in there. Ryan, what do you have? Are you doing beer or are you doing something else?
Yeah, I'm gonna do coffee. I've made the decision to stop drinking alcohol. So I am gonna, in good faith, I'm gonna go with coffee because it is my absolute favorite beverage to drink. I think I don't really have honorable mentions because there's only 3 times that I really ever drink coffee, and they are all my favorite because anytime I have coffee, it's just like my favorite time of the day.
It sounds pretty easy to have a top 3.
Yeah, this is super easy for me. So number 1 is in the morning. I want to wake up. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to start off at number 3. All right. Anyways, I'm going to go number 1 to 3. So number 1 is waking up in the morning, coming down and having a coffee.
The first sip.
Yeah, that first sip.
Oh yeah.
You can
burns the crap out of your lips.
Yep. That's the best part. Wakes you up though. See? And then next, I'd say my second favorite is like if I play video games or something at night and I want to stay up a little later, I go make myself a cup of coffee and sit there and sip that while I'm playing video games. I love doing that. I don't know. That just feels good. And last, so my third would be when I get home from work every day. I come home and make a cup of coffee.
Every day?
Every day.
Wow.
Like
iced coffee or regular coffee?
I mean, I like iced coffee, but I always make regular coffee.
And not decaf, you're just regular coffee?
No, it's always regular coffee. I always make sure I have about 4 hours before I go to bed to let my body metabolize the coffee. Unless it's those times when I'm playing video games at night, then I don't really care.
I think I'm to the point where I drink so much coffee it doesn't even keep me up anyway. So
I think my favorite, we're just ranking beverage. My favorite beverage is an iced coffee on a warm day. Like I think that's easily my top favorite. Or I don't know why it just came to my mind. Did anything taste better than the water out of the drinking fountain in our high school during like basketball practice?
basketball practice, yeah, the
That's
water
because you were
during
dying of
basketball
thirst.
practice. That's a good one. I
Nothing
can still
tastes
taste
better.
that.
I wonder if they put something in the water. It's a little scary.
I mean, we grew up next to a nuclear plant. I'm sure there was something in the water.
There was something in that water.
All right, so your top three going backwards is after work, 3, 2, staying up late, 1, that first sip in the morning.
If you can have that first sip of morning, like out on the porch, watching the sunrise, oh man, just put me in heaven.
You need to have a coffee while you golf in the morning. Your mind would be blown.
I'll go get like one of those Starbucks cans that are like a double shot of espresso. Bring that golfing with me. Maybe that would make me play better.
Ryan, you don't drink any coffee while you work?
Oh, I do.
Oh, you do. Okay.
Yeah, if I bring it from home, like I'll just bring it with me and throw it in a Yeti and sip it.
That didn't make the list though.
I figured I kind of took that as my morning coffee.
Okay.
I only have like one morning coffee, and then I go and have one when I get home, and then maybe one that night. I think I have a coffee problem.
Yeah, I mean, we're parents.
Who doesn't?
Every parent has a coffee problem.
What is that? 2, 3? That seems pretty average to me. You're good.
Oh, okay.
All right, we are in the middle of a draft right now for one of our Ultraflex leagues, where same format that we've been talking about the last few weeks, where we have 1 quarterback, 8 position players. So it could be running back, wide receiver, tight ends, and then we have a super flex position. So most teams will be looking at 2 quarterbacks and 8 positions. Right now we're in the 4th round of that. So we're going to talk about some of the trades that we made prior to the draft in some cases, and then during the draft in some cases, and then we'll talk about the picks that we made so far. So I think I made the first one, and then you guys actually made a trade together. So I'll just quickly go through mine, and then we'll switch over to you guys. So I traded. I had the 3rd pick initially, and when I saw that, I was super excited because we all discussed before how if you have one of the top 3 picks, that means you're guaranteed Allen, Mahomes, or Herbert. So at first I was like, all right, I'm just going to take whoever falls to me. I'll be happy. And then I started thinking about it more. And I was like, really, there are 8 quarterbacks that I'm fine getting. Obviously, those top 3 have a little bit more potential, higher ceiling. But our consensus ranking... Sorry, I had an echo, so I had to stop. Our consensus ranking are Allen, Mahomes, Herbert, Jackson, Murray, Burrow, Prescott, and Wilson is 8. So I went into it, and I was like, if I can trade back to 8 and get another starter, I'm okay doing that. So it's exactly what I did. I traded pick 103 for 108 and 605. In our drafts, I was able to get Dak Prescott at 108. And then we haven't gotten to the 6th round yet, but I'm just looking at ADP as far as like who it's projecting to be there at that pick. And right now it is Jerry Jeudy, Chris Godwin, Hollywood Brown, Bateman. So in my mind, I'm trading. Again, I didn't know who was going to be there at 3, Allen, Mahomes, or Herbert, for Dak Prescott and Jerry Jeudy, or Chris Godwin, or Hollywood Brown.
Jerry Jeudy just went off the clock.
Jerry Judy's, yeah.
Oh, did he? Well, I guess I'm not getting Jerry Jeudy.
4-2 feels really early, but
that is very early.
So
and for full clarity, Mahomes went 3. That's who ended up going 3. So
yeah. So I would have had Mahomes or Dak Prescott and a player to be named later that's going to be not Jerry Jeudy, but Hollywood Brown, Bateman, or someone in that vicinity. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think I won that? Lost that?
Well, it should end up being your fourth or fifth best starting flex player. So I think in a startup, that's pretty big. I think if I had Mahomes, I probably wouldn't trade him for that package. But I think in a startup, when you don't have maybe built your roster up completely yet the way you want it, through trades and waivers, finding guys through waivers, whatever, that extra starter that you have that other teams won't have now could benefit you. Because how much are you really losing on a point per game basis from Mahomes to Dak, if anything?
Yeah,
Entirely possible Dak outscores Mahomes this year.
I agree 100%. I think Dak has that top upside, and that extra player, especially if it's like a Bateman or a Hollywood Brown or someone like that. I mean, those guys have top 12 potential also. So you might have just traded maybe like a top 5 or a top 3 QB for a potential top 5 QB and a wide receiver 1. So you consulted me before you made the trade. I said I think it's a great idea. I was like, I would probably make that trade. If you're comfortable getting Dak or Russ Wilson, then absolutely. I think that was a good trade for you.
Yeah, kind of what Rob just said. If the tables were turned and this was a league that was 2 years deep and I already had a roster and someone offered me Dak and Hollywood Brown for Mahomes, I'm probably going to say no. But in this instance, the startup, and I wanted the depth, and I wanted to have a stronger starting lineup to work with going forward. So
I think it was the right move in a startup.
Yeah, sure. Not only that, but this is also an Empire League. So if you win 2 championships in a row, you get the pot, and then the whole league starts over. So everyone's buy-in adds to a pot every year, and if you win 2 years in a row, you get the pot and whatever you win for getting first place. So I think it's smart to take that extra starter now because you have a better chance of getting the pot in the next 2 years.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Well, next episode we'll update who I'm able to take at 6'5". It doesn't look like at the pace we're going, we're doing a slow draft that it will not be tonight. But Rob made the next trade, so I'll let Rob kind of explain what he was thinking when he made his on the clock. So want to go through your process there?
I had the 104. So after Herbert went 101, Josh Allen 102, and Mahomes, like we talked about, went 3. I had the 104, and I got offered the 106 and the 14-12, which isn't a starter, but it's one of the first few off the bench. For the 104, I didn't love it, but I also didn't mind moving back 2 spots. So I countered with the 2023 third added, and that got it done. So I moved back 2 spots, and Joe Burrow ended up going 4th. I kind of made the trade anticipating I would go quarterback. It's not what ended up happening. I decided to try something a little different, kind of go a different path than I normally do in a startup draft. So Lamar Jackson went 5, and I decided, you know what, I'll just take my top positional player, and I took Jamar Chase. I wanted to go for the big, explosive playmaker, the young wide receiver there, who I think is impossible to trade for from what I've seen from experience in my leagues. So that was kind of my thought process there, was I wanted somebody that I thought there's going to be no way I can trade for this guy in any other league, so I'll get him here so I don't have to worry about trading for him. I considered Justin Jefferson and even Kyle Pitts also as the first non-quarterback to go off the board. And I will say I probably, in a normal startup where I wasn't letting my other leagues influence it a bit, I would have probably taken Kyler Murray. But I have a lot of shares of Kyler Murray, so I was kind of trying to diversify a bit. So I passed on him there.
If Lamar Jackson is there, do you take him?
That was kind of the name I was hoping would fall there because it was kind of like, well, I see those three quarterbacks is close enough where I'll grab one of them, and then Kyler was the one who fell, and I was like, I have him in almost every league, so I wanted to try something different.
And I'm so glad you did because I had the pick right after you, and that means that Kyler fell into my lap. He's our consensus QB5. Oh, I'm sorry. He's our consensus QB5. So I was very happy to take him at the 107. Although you did do what I was going to do because I wanted to try something different because I always go QB, and if I get that middle round, I wanted to take a Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase, and you get to do it. So you get to live out what I was hoping to do. So I hope you make it look good, and I know you will. You're the green machine.
See what I can do here.
No pressure.
So I guess just a quick recap of our first picks. We actually kind of went in order, didn't we?
Yep.
Rob,
we did.
Rob had Jamar Chase, and then followed Ryan was the next pick with Kyler Murray, and then I had Dak Prescott at 8. And then Ryan, you made a trade up. So you go ahead and describe what your thought process was there.
Let's see. What was the trade, Tony? You have it written down, right?
Yeah,
that was the trade you made with me.
That's what I thought. Okay,
well,
so
you made 2 trades. So whatever you traded for 209, and then you also traded 302 and 811.
Okay,
yeah,
so
the 209 was my pick originally.
Yeah, so Rob had the 209. I'd already had taken Waddle in the second round, and I did not want T. Higgins to get taken before I picked again in the third. So I was willing to pay up a little bit, I think. Maybe you guys disagree. Maybe you think it's pretty fair.
No, well, see, T. Higgins was the guy I would have taken there. Like, I think that's a great spot for him. But I already had Jamar Chase, so that was really the only reason I considered that trade down. If I would have went Justin Jefferson or Kyle Pitts, I would have definitely slammed the button on T. Higgins. So
okay, so
you came in with a strong offer, and I took it. But
yeah, so you sent me the 209, which I was able to take Higgins, and I gave you the 307 and a 2024 first.
Yeah.
So that was what the deal was, and I ended up with Kyler Murray, T. Higgins, and Waddle by the end of the second round. So I'm super excited about the start of my draft.
It's a very nice start.
Feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah.
I was surprised that Rob, you were willing to take the 2020. How many times can I say 20? 2024 first round pick, just because it seemed. I know it's not, but it just seems so far away in a startup league.
Yeah, I mean, a year from now, we'll be talking about acquiring the 2024 first because it'll be the next hot class. I mean, that's the way things go. So I figured, well, you know what? I'll just drop down. The guy I was probably going to take, if I didn't take him, was Stephon Diggs anyway. So I ended up getting him at the 304. So like I said, T. Higgins was the guy I would have wanted because he was sticking out for me on the board. But because I had Chase, it didn't make sense to grab him. So I was just taking what I could get to move down a little bit, really, is what happened there.
And then who did you get at 307?
So at 307 was the pick that Ryan traded me. I took Devontae Adams.
So essentially it ended up being, obviously there's no way of knowing this at the time, but it ended up being Devontae Adams and a 2024 first for T. Higgins, which in my opinion, and Dynasty is very fair. So
yeah.
It sounds like a weird trade because you'd think the person getting Higgins wouldn't want to give up picks, but just being a startup draft, it's just the way it worked out.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's fine. I would rather have Higgins straight up. So
yeah, it doesn't sound good when you put it like that. Like it definitely sounds like I lost that trade. But I am also very high on Higgins. He's our consensus 9, wide receiver 9. And I personally have him at my wide receiver 4.
But also in 2024, by the time I think it's a fair trade because by the time Rob gets to use that pick, Devontae Adams is going to be 31, 32.
I did check his contract before I drafted him. Basically, their first out in that contract is after 3 seasons, so he'll probably have the next 3 seasons he'll be their wide receiver 1. So I just figured, well, if he kind of flames out by then and isn't really productive anymore, I'll have that 2024 first to try to replace that production.
Yeah.
Assuming the league's still going, if nobody repeats year 1 and 2.
Right, and Higgins
would be impressive.
Higgins will be a whopping 25 years old at that time, so feel pretty good.
And then did you trade up again, Ryan?
I did. Yeah, I was active. I was active getting these early round picks. I saw value, and I shared my rankings on Twitter at Ultraflex Ryan, and I have Deshaun Watson ranked as my QB 7, and I know he's going through a lot, and I'm obviously we talk about the football player only here, but I saw him sitting there at 302. And I was like, there's no way he's fallen much further than that. And that's when he's playing, he's a QB. He averages out as a QB5, the QB5. So to be able to get a value like that, the guy's 27 years old. I had to jump on it. So I gave up my 406 and 507 to get the 302 and 811. And obviously in the 302, I took Deshaun Watson. So I don't have a pick for the next couple rounds, but was able to start the draft with Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, and then T. Higgins and Jalen Waddle.
Nice young core.
It's tough to really grade that trade until you see all the picks made, right? Because right now they're just numbers to me. It's hard to tell who's going to end up being there. You can look at ADP all you want, but people draft the guys they want. So
yeah, it was a very high risk trade too, because if let's say Watson gets suspended indefinitely and we have no timeline, then I'm going to be sitting there looking at my team like, well, that sucks.
At least you drafted young, if that's the case.
That was my other thought. I was like, I went super young at QB to start, and two wide receivers that are under 23 years old. So
I do want to say too, I was seriously considering him at the 304 if he made it to me, because at that point I would have only had Chase, and I could have just kind of went for I'll start out a little slow this year and then try to really turn it up going into 2023 season. But once you took him, I was like, I got to get my boy Diggs. And then from there, it's just see what happens.
Well, Bills.
Yeah, are there any picks that we haven't really discussed? We talked about Chase and Murray, and I'd have Prescott. So in my second round at 210, I picked up Javonte Williams, just some of the other guys that were around that pick. Ryan, right before me, took T. Higgins. The pick after that was DeAndre Swift and then Cooper Kupp. So I was going back and forth between Javonte Williams and DeAndre Swift. We've talked about this before. I think they're both going to have good seasons. I'm just a UNC fan, so I picked Javonte Williams.
Close enough. Take the guy you like.
Yeah, and I think the Broncos offense is going to be very good and is going to have to put up points to compete in that division. So I think their offense will have the opportunity for him to score a lot of touchdowns.
I went for Adams too, just that division. There's going to be high scoring games.
Yeah, it's going to.
You're a Melvin Gordon injury away from having a top 3 running back too.
Yeah, depending on the reports that you look at, I think they're planning on using him about 70.
Yeah, between 70, I think he just you just cut out there. You were saying between 70 and like 55% is what I've seen.
Yeah, so hopefully he gets the 70% of that share and kind of dominates the ball. And then after that snaked around, and that's when you took Deshaun Watson at 3-2, and then after that I had AJ Brown at 3-3. So I was going back and forth between AJ Brown and Stephon Diggs, and the Bills fan in me really, 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 really wanted to pick Stephon Diggs, but at the end of the day, it came down to AJ Brown just being younger. So I think they're both going to have really good years. I probably will look back in a couple weeks and wish I had Stephon Diggs, but just so I can sit there and watch the Bills games.
The early reports out of the Eagles camp are that Hurts and AJ Brown have a really strong connection. So
They should. They're best friends.
yeah. So you could look good on that pick there.
Hopefully, like I said, it was. I was actually trying
Oh man,
to get Deshaun.
you keep cutting out. Sorry, say that
Yeah,
again.
we lost you.
Yeah, I said the person that I was trying to get that Ryan traded with to get Deshaun Watson. I was trying to trade up to get. I wanted to get AJ Brown and Stephon Diggs there, but I couldn't.
Ooh.
I couldn't meet Ryan's offer.
I sent a spicy one.
Beat it. Ryan wanted it more.
Yep.
Rob, do you have any other picks that we didn't go over?
No, I just got the three big receivers so far: Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams. So
I like it.
waiting to see. I'm up in about 6 or so picks. So not sure what direction I'll take yet, but for now, 3 wide receivers.
All right.
And Ryan, you got your 4 that you talked about, and when's your next?
Oh my gosh, when is my next pick? I don't even know, honestly. I have like 3 rounds off, so I was just sitting here like, I'll just be probably not picking for the next day and a half.
Looks like you're up at the 6-6.
The 6-6, yep, the 6-6, and then the 7-7, and then I have 2 picks in the 8th. But I do plan on trading into either the 5th, 6th, or 7th to make a pick in there, because I think that I have a team that will
trying to scoop up
competitive this
another wide receiver there.
I have a plan, and because you're in the draft with me, I can't spill the beans. So
Come on, I was trying to get some juice out of you.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Tony, are you there?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I don't know. I'm gonna go no video. That way we can at least get some sound, and then hopefully my IT department will get this fixed.
Come on,
Yeah,
IT
type on
department,
that.
let's go.
I know. I gotta get Megan. No, I'm sorry.
We
Megan's
pay him enough. What's going on? Come on.
So let's play. Let's spin the wheel. We've got a couple weeks left of the preseason. We'll try to do 2, maybe 3 tonight, depending on how long we discuss each team. That way we can go over more of these before the season starts. So recap of who we have done so far. The 49ers, the Saints, and the Lions.
All right, we got the wheel up. We're checking to make sure that the teams that are
We also did the Pittsburgh Steelers, right?
we did.
We did.
Okay.
All right, baby. Let's go.
We're ready to roll. Let's do it.
Big money, big money, big money, big money, big money.
And it's looking like we
Oh, all right, Kansas City Chiefs it is.
Oh, for those watching the YouTube, the YouTube. Oh my gosh, I'm so old.
You're
For those-
old.
For those watching on YouTube, they almost saw us have to talk about the Jaguars.
Yeah, that was close.
They're
Nobody
making the playoffs.
Nobody likes talking about the Jaguars, or is that just the Titans fan in me?
They're making the playoffs.
Yeah, Anthony
Cool.
wants to talk about him.
Yeah, that's right. That was his hot take from week
We would
one.
have had to make him pick by himself there just to see how he gets to playoff.
I would actually love to see that.
No, we would pick it together and we would see that they're making the playoffs. But that's we'll stick with the Chiefs for
Okay,
now.
so when the Jaguars do come up, we'll start out together, and if we don't get him to a playoff team, then we'll have you take over.
Yeah,
All right. Sounds like a plan.
I got news
Any-
for you, Anthony. I'm picking losses for them on unless they play the Houston Texans.
Well, they do play them, so at least we'll get 2 wins. Ryan, any fantasy buy sell that you want to talk about with the Chiefs?
Well, I found out last episode that I'm a little higher on Juju than I thought I was based on my rankings. That is so hard. A buy on the Chiefs, I think I'd have to say, I mean, if you're a win now, because Kelsey, he's got that stigma. He's like 33 years old. everyone thinks he's going to fall off a cliff. If you're in a bye now, I think go get Kelsey. Trade one of your younger tight ends if you have one. Maybe they'll bite if you have like a Dawson Knox or something like that. Because I think Kelsey's going to be elite this year, but after this year, I'm not so sure he has much left in him.
If you're one piece away, and your one piece is a tight end, trade your first round pick for Travis Kelsey all day long, because you're not going to. I mean, barring injury, I don't think you're going to get a better bet to finish as tight end one, even though he didn't last year. The lack of wide receiver weapons for Mahomes now, I think there's going to be a lot of targets going to Kelsey.
Absolutely.
He's going to get what, 10 to 12 targets a game. He's going to get the ball thrown to him a lot.
Yeah.
Rob, you have anyone?
So the guy that I want to just kind of bring up, I don't know that in all leagues he's going to be a buy, because he probably went a lot higher in some leagues than he did in other leagues in the rookie draft. That's Sky Moore. And the reason I say he's a buy is because Patrick Mahomes is his quarterback. And the first time he has a big game, everybody's going to go googly eyes over him. So I would recommend getting him now if he's somebody that you're thinking about getting, because once he has that big game, he's probably going to be just about, I don't want to say impossible, but he's going to be hard to get. He's going to cost more than you're probably willing to pay. So he's a guy that if you're thinking about getting, now would be the best time, especially because there's been a lot of hype around Juju this summer. So
yeah, I'm going to have to move Juju down my ranks. I'm looking around like who's going in ADP on Sleeper around Juju, and we're talking like he's going with Cortland Sutton, Sky Moore. I'd rather have Sky Moore personally.
I would also.
I mean, he's got Christian Watson right there. I believe in Christian Watson, so I would also go Christian Watson. But I can see that there's a lot of fear in him because he's so raw, and he's got the quarterback who doesn't like to throw to rookies. And Gabe Davis is going after him. Brandon Ayuk is going after him. Allen Robinson is going at all of Hunter Renfrow. I'd rather have all of those guys over Juju.
Sounds like you have to update those rankings.
I need to update them, and it looks like I am not going to be a Juju guy anymore.
You might be more in line with where I have him then.
Yeah, like late 30s. Somewhere in.
I'd have to check.
Oh yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
But all right, let's alternate picks on the Chiefs. That way we can get another team in here. As Bills fans, the Chiefs are the arch nemesis. So let's see if they're going to make the playoffs this year. They're going to start the year at Arizona. Ryan.
Ooh, fun game to start out.
Yeah.
Ryan just drafted Kyler Murray.
Hey, Arizona starts off hot, man. They start off hot every year. They beat the Titans by 40 points last year at some point, and the Titans ended up being the best team in the regular season last year. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I believe in Patrick Mahomes. I believe in Andy Reid, and I believe in that offense. And I think the defense is good enough to stop Kyler.
Rob, home against the Chargers on Thursday night.
Ooh. Let's start.
They got two fun games to start out the season. I will take the Chiefs at home.
They go to Indy week 3. I like Indy's chances in the AFC South this year, but I do not think Indy wins that game. So I think the Chiefs start 3-0. Week 4, Ryan at Tampa on Sunday Night Football.
Holy moly. I'd hate
That is a pretty tough schedule, though. I mean, and we already got them going 3-0.
I'm definitely giving them a loss here. There's no way.
Easily see them starting 1-3 out of those 4 games.
Absolutely. I can definitely see that. And there's no way they're going 4-0 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers being the 4th team they have to face.
Rob, Monday Night Football now. We're going to see a lot of the Chiefs, which they've earned over the last few years. Monday Night Football, home against the Raiders.
Give me the Chiefs. They play those primetime games.
4-1 to start the year. Week 6 against the Bills at home. this is a tough. I mean, the first 6 games just has to be the toughest stretch for any team. Arizona, Chargers, Indy, Tampa, Las Vegas, Buffalo, and then they go to San Fran next week. So I'm going to give them the loss to the Bills.
Good choice.
I think I'm going to go by the under on the Chiefs.
That's a really tough schedule, and we haven't even gotten to the Broncos yet.
That's
Right. Ryan, so I kind of already said it, but at San Fran after that start, what do you have for that game?
I think I don't necessarily think that San Francisco is a better. I don't really like their quarterback, actually. So unless it's Jimmy G, so I'm gonna actually go to the Chiefs. I was gonna say I'm gonna take the odds on that they're not gonna start off that hot that we had them, but I'm not. I don't know. Whoop! Almost knocked my mic over here. I'm not a fan of, and I'm also blanking on his name right now, but
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance. Thank you. Holy crap! Yeah, I'm not a fan of Trey Lance.
So 5-2, they get a bye week, and then they get 2 home games in a row. The first one, Rob, is Tennessee. Again, Sunday Night Football.
Chiefs in a blowout.
That's ridiculous. The Titans beat them so bad last year too.
Revenge game.
No.
No, it probably won't be a blowout, but give me the Chiefs.
Unfortunately, I think the Jaguars make the playoffs. But the next game is home against the Jaguars. This is not one of the games the Jaguars win. So they are now 7-2. Going to the Chargers. Ryan, who's got that game?
Give me the Chargers. I think
So
yeah.
Probably see a split there this season, if I had to guess.
I think Justin Herbert goes off that game.
So we're 7-3, and we got another tough stretch here. So we just played at the Chargers. Now we're home against the Rams.
The schedule's unreal. It's got to be one of the hardest in the league, right? It seems crazy. Yeah, I think the Rams are going to start out slow with the Super Bowl hangover, but I think they'll probably be rounded into form by then. I would hope so. Week 12, and being home, I will take the Rams there.
7-4.
Well, actually, that's at Kansas City. I read that wrong. I'm still going to take the Rams.
7-4.
Kansas City has the 29th ranked schedule in terms of strength of schedule. So they have the 29th hardest.
Most difficult?
Or most difficult. I'm sorry. That's right.
I mean, it makes sense. I would be interested to see who has a tougher one. It's got to be someone else in
that division.
Baltimore,
Yeah.
Baltimore, Miami, and the Jets. So Miami and the Jets have. So the Jets have the 32nd. Miami has the 30th.
The Jets get to play Miami and New England.
Yeah, what is that based off of?
I don't know. I just pulled those numbers out of the top. Like I just guessed. I didn't even.
Are you
research
making
any
me-
of this?
Those were your rankings, right?
I'm just kidding.
All right, so 7-4. We got Cincinnati or at Cincinnati. I do think the Chiefs will be fired up to kind of make up for the postseason last year. So I think Patrick Mahomes goes on the road and wins that game. So they're 8-4.
Big revenge game there.
8-4, and this is the first of a 3-game road stretch. So now they're going to Denver on Sunday Night Football again.
Guys, we have them 8-4. I feel like we've picked them to win like a ton of their difficult games. I do not feel good for the Chiefs if they're going, and then they're going on the road to start a 3-game away stretch.
Yeah, so they're at Denver on night game, which is never easy.
And I was gonna say they go into Denver, and
the Bengals was the first game of the road trip, right?
Yep.
Okay. So this is the second one. So they just went in, they beat the Bengals, they're all hyped up, and then they go lose to the Broncos in Denver.
Letdown spot, yeah.
8-5. Unfortunately, I have to ask Rob at Houston.
Yeah, they can't lose that, right? I just can't see it.
I don't see
9-5.
I don't see them winning more than 2 games in that, or I'm sorry, losing 2 games in that 3-game away stretch.
9-5 home against Seattle. That's a win. So we're 10-5 home against Denver. Ryan.
I think they split it, so I'll go Chiefs there.
So we're 11-5. Probably got at least a playoff spot
Gotta
locked
be,
up.
yeah.
So at Las Vegas for the last game of the year.
I really feel like this whole division is going to kind of just beat each other up, split. Like everyone's just going to split with everybody. So I got to take the Raiders because I know before we took the Chiefs. So give me the Raiders. I mean, it could be at that point the Raiders are fighting for a playoff spot. The Chiefs could be locked into their seeding. Who knows with that record? Yeah. They're probably not the 1 seed, but they might have the division, so they might not be playing for anything.
Who do you guys think wins that division?
I mean, if I were
I'm not picking against the Chiefs.
Yeah, if I had to put my money on it, it's going to be the Chiefs until someone proves that else.
All right. But I think the Chargers have a better roster, but until we see them make the playoffs, I'm not going to put my money there. So
I would have put if I had to bet, I would throw it on the Broncos personally.
Okay.
If I was looking to make some money, it's probably the Broncos. If you told me I need to pick a team or I lose my house, then I'm picking the Chiefs.
Side with Mahomes because he hasn't not won it yet, right? So
yeah.
All right, Rob, why don't you pull up spin the wheel, and then while you do that,
share my screen again.
While you do that, guess what the Chiefs over under is.
I would guess 11. I'm gonna go with 11.
10.5.
It is 11.5.
Okay.
So I would bet the under on that for sure.
Yeah, again, I'm not going to bet against Mahomes because it's probably been a losing bet if you've done that up to this point in his career. But if you made me pick a side that I think is going to happen, I would bet the under. Just because, like I said, I think that division's going to beat each other up a bit. It could be a 10 or 11 win division there.
Yeah.
All right. Spin the wheel times 2.
See my screen? Good to go?
Good to go.
Let's do it.
Big money, big money, big money, big money, big money, big money.
Oh, we had to get a gross team in here.
Yeah. Cheer for that.
All right. Seattle Seahawks it is.
I guess this will be easy to talk any fantasy news.
Anybody got to buy? Yeah, like anybody.
Yeah, I personally do. My buy would be if you can, and if you get him at a reasonable price, I would go DK Metcalf. I think that he's the quarterback there is bringing his value down significantly right now. So if I were to have to go buy somebody on that team, it would be DK Metcalf.
I like that. What about as a contender? Would you buy Rashad Penny?
I mean, Rashad Penny, he scares me.
His efficiency is off the charts. So he averaged like 6.5 yards a carry last year or something like that. I know he only played 10 games at 100 something carries, but
he's a
if you can get him
very
cheap
talented running back, but he's always hurt. He's got a terrible offensive line, and his quarterback is not Russell Wilson anymore. The
head coach is still Pete Carroll, and he wants to run the ball. I don't think that's going to change.
That's true.
Maybe he's not a buy now. Maybe he's a buy if he stays healthy. You buy him closer to the playoffs.
Yeah, I was going to say. I also wonder if Ken Walker starts taking some snaps though later in the season, or if they truly give Penny a timeshare. But I also expect Penny to be injured by the end of the season.
It could also be the opposite. He could get if they start out with a terrible record, Walker might start playing a lot at the beginning of the year. And then they say, well, why put too much mileage on this guy's legs when we're not even fighting for a playoff spot? Let's just kind of sit him on the bench, give him a few carries a game, and just ride the guy who's, I think they signed him to a 1-year deal.
Yeah, I believe so. 1-year prove-it deal.
So I could see him getting a ton of carries this year and then turning the backfield over to Ken Walker next year.
Yeah.
2023.
You want to not share that we have a winner Seattle Seahawks anymore? I don't want to see that anymore.
Oh, my bad.
Boo,
I forgot to stop
Seattle.
sharing the screen on that one. There we go. Better?
Yeah, perfect.
At least you didn't start Googling embarrassing stuff.
Yeah, that'd have been funny.
All right, let's pick this one real quick because unfortunately I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs, but we'll go ahead and pick anyway. Rob, this time we'll start with you. They start
Go.
at Denver on Monday night.
Oh, they're definitely winning. No, I'm just kidding. Denver's going to win that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think it's gonna change your pick, but it's home actually against Denver.
Oh, Russ going back to Seattle. He's at home, essentially, right? He's used to it.
Yeah.
Give me the Broncos.
Ryan at San Francisco.
Loss.
Oh, boy.
Do I need to give an analysis for this? Okay.
Nope.
They lost.
Toilet Bowl potentially. They host Atlanta. They
Oh,
both stink. I'm gonna pick the Seahawks to win at home.
I agree.
Grind went out on the ground.
Rob at Detroit.
Detroit all day. Sleeper team.
Ryan at New Orleans.
New Orleans all day. Jameis Winston. Let's go.
So we are 1-4. Now home against Arizona. So 1-5. Rob at the Los Angeles Chargers.
Chargers.
1-6.
This is a
Ryan
tough
home against the Giants.
that's
I don't know. Can Dable fix whatever his name is? Oh man,
Daniel
Eric
Jones?
I'm blanking on all quarterback names tonight. I need to go get some coffee. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Giants.
1-7 at Arizona. I'm gonna make them 1-8.
wow.
Rob home against Tampa Bay. Actually, it says home, but it's in London.
London game. Give me the Bucks.
We're 1-9. Ryan home against Vegas.
This is not good for Seattle. I'm gonna go Vegas.
1-10 at the Los Angeles Rams. I'm gonna give them 1-11. Rob home against Carolina.
I'll give them a win there. They're due for one. They'll find a way.
2-11. Ryan home against San Francisco.
I can't do it. I think the Bosa is going to be making whichever quarterback they have starting there, whether it's Geno Smith or Locke. He's going to be running for his life.
So we're 2-12 at Kansas City, so 2-13. Rob home against the Jets.
Give me the Jets.
2-14, and then to round it out, home against the Rams.
I'm gonna.
Maybe the Rams backups are played.
I was gonna say I'm gonna go Seahawks there. I'm gonna give them 3 wins, and then it's probably Pete Carroll's last game that he'll be coaching for that team. So they're gonna want to win it for him.
So 3-14. Anyone going to guess what the over/under is?
4.5.
4 or 4.5 for sure.
Yeah, 4.5.
Yeah.
So
Under. Slam.
gonna be a
We gave
long.
him a couple. We'll throw him a bone here. Slam the under on the Seahawks.
Yes.
If you got first pick odds, take it for the Seahawks. You know, I might even look into what pays for getting 0 wins for the Seahawks. Might be a decent line there. Winless.
That Falcons game worries me a little bit for that, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, if you make it through that game, though, if they blow that, was that week 3?
Yeah, it was early.
I mean, you could wait until that game, but if they lose that game, then, or sorry, if they win that game, if they lose that game, then the odds are going to go down. So,
All right, hot takes time. Ryan, do you have your hot take ready? Do you want to go first?
I totally did, and I'm just trying to see how many times I can drop the ball tonight. So how am I doing so far? Pretty good. Okay, thanks.
Doing an
so-
amazing job.
My hot take is that I'm gonna do it, Rob. I'm doing it. Cole Kmet.
Do it.
I think that he will finish after I just said that I think Kelsey will be elite this year. There is the chance, and I'm throwing this out there, and I will take credit if I don't get this. We know this. We do write these down, so I am gonna hurt my hot take percentage if I don't get this right. But throwing it out there, Cole Kmet finishes higher than Travis Kelsey by the end of this year in total points scored.
Is that
what's the path to that?
Is that a slight at Kelsey or really high in Kmet?
So there's a couple things here. It's the new coaching staff for the Bears. I believe it can't get worse than it was last year. They have a bunch of vacated targets and no weapons besides Darnell Mooney. Cole Kmet should be the second best weapon in that offense in terms of receiving. They have a second-year quarterback in Justin Fields who presumably will be in an offensive scheme that fits him better than when Matt Nagy was running the oh my gosh, who was guys help the redhead.
Andy Dalton?
Yeah, he was running Andy Dalton's offense last year. All right. And
I was going to say Austin.
Nothing wrong with being a redhead. I was just saying, I couldn't think of his name. So it seems like young QBs love their tight ends, and it seems that mobile QBs especially like to target their tight ends, like Allen to Knox. You got Lamar Jackson to Mark Andrews, Kyler Murray to Zach Ertz, Hurts to Goddard. And I know Goddard or Hurts doesn't throw a ton in general, but he does have one of the better tight ends to help save him. But Kmet can only see positive regression in the touchdown column. He had 0 touchdowns last year. He could
score 0 again. I just want to say,
yeah,
it's possible. Then it's not positive regression.
It's I just have a hard time seeing him not score more than
he should score a touchdown
because they had Jimmy Graham in a bunch of packages near in the red zone last year, and he's gone. Jimmy Grampa's gone, so he's gone, and then the yards per catch should go up with him being in a better offense that has that suits his QB better, and there's all of that for Kmet, but then you look at Kelsey, and I understand that he's going to be the best weapon in Kansas City's offense, presumably. But if he hits a wall, if there is a age 33 wall for tight ends, it's not completely unbelievable that Kelsey falls off this year. And he's going to be the focal point of the defenses. He's their best player now. They don't have to worry about Tyreek taking the top off. MVS can go take the top off and then drop the ball when it gets thrown to him down the field. Like, if you're a defense, you're keying on Kelsey, which is worrisome, especially when he's older. And it's basically expecting Kelsey to get worse or seeing that in the possible range of outcomes. And if he finishes as like the tight end 6, I could see Kmet, if he scores like 6 touchdowns and gets a few more targets and catches in a better offense with better coaching as the number 2 weapon, no Allen Robinson. I could see him finishing as like tight end 5, and that would be all I need. And it doesn't take much to finish as a tight end 5 because you don't even have to be that good.
All right, Ryan's high on Kmet.
Cole Kmet.
Let's go,
Rob. What you got?
I'll save mine for last today.
All right, I'll go. I got. Well, one, I'm mad. DJ Moore just got picked, and I really wanted him. And when I pick in about 5 picks, so I had
him queued up actually too. I was thinking about him.
Yeah, I'm salty on that at the moment. So, but my hot take is not fantasy related at the moment. My hot take is that Kareem Hunt is traded before our next podcast. So I think he's gonna be going somewhere in the NFC. I think Cleveland is sick of the distractions, whether it's Watson or anything that else that might be piled into that conversation of a distraction. So I think they're just going to trade him and move on. So that's my hot take. I'll keep
Now
it
that's
short and
spicy.
sweet.
That's spicy because we're doing this episode on Sunday night, and our next
All right, Sunday night, here we. All right, sorry, go ahead.
that wasn't even the right words. And our next podcast is going to be Wednesday, so you have a whopping 3 days.
Yeah.
It's a
Well,
hot take.
we'll know real quick whether
Well,
that
yeah,
comes
we'll
true
do
or
it
not.
quick.
I like my hot takes to be instant. I want to know if
Does-
I'm going to get it or not.
Does he get a half a point if he's traded but goes to the AFC?
No.
Okay.
I don't do half.
Wow.
No half points.
Strict around here.
That I'm gonna keep mine nice and simple. We're all Ryan, maybe it's not his favorite team, but we're all Bills fans here. Growing up in the Buffalo area.
They're my second favorite team.
So we gotta have a little bit of Bills love here. The Bills will win their first Super Bowl this season. Write it down right now.
Start
Lock
knocking
it
down
in.
wood everywhere.
Buffalo Bills win the Super Bowl. I think it's a hot take because they've never won one before.
Oh,
It's definitely. I mean, it's not a hot take because I think they're the betting favorite in that aspect, but it's a hot take because they never won one before.
that seems fair.
If you want me to put out a record prediction or something, maybe I'll make that my next hot take. But
No matter what, before the season starts, I don't care if we get it on spin the wheel or not. We're picking the Bills record. So,
yeah.
we'll for sure pick the Bills.
and we
Yes.
got to pick the division winners and who we got. We got to make our Super Bowl predictions. So all of that is coming. Cool. All right. So Bills make the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl by Komet, and then Kareem Hunt gets traded. So listener question of the week, Ryan, I'll send it to you.
That's our.
All right.
That's the. Guys, I need coffee. That's our
That's
transition to the
Our
listener
jingle,
question.
our
of the week.
transition. Yeah.
Just so everybody knows, they were like, "What the heck was that?" Yep, that's what that is. All right, listener question of the week. None of us have seen this yet, so here we go. If you were a dog, what breed would you be? These questions, though, man, they're thinkers.
How have I not thought of that yet? Because I've
I
asked
know.
somebody before.
You said you asked that to somebody before?
Yes, I have. So that question came from my wife, correct, Ryan?
That's correct.
She's a dog groomer
Mm-hmm.
who owns her own business. So I have helped her interview people before, and I asked one question, and it was, if you were a dog, what kind of dog would you be? Just to see what they would say. I didn't really have anything I was looking for. I just wanted to know like what people would say.
So
you guys get to answer first. What type of dog would you be? Come on.
You know,
I'm the interviewer here.
I've only been around in the last decade or so.
aren't you like 30 years old almost?
No, I'm saying I've only been around like a pit bull mix or a rescue for the last decade.
Okay.
And I love our dogs pretty much more than anything other than our son. So I would be some form of a mutt pit bull because I watch them all day long and they're just like the biggest teddy bears in the world, and they just want to sleep and play ball and hang out and watch football and pretty much do whatever we do. So that's probably I'm pretty easy going. Our dogs are pretty easy going, so that's gonna be my answer. Some sort of mutt pit mix.
Right.
Trying to think of like a beautiful, majestic. I'm just kidding. So, for some reason, like, all I can think of for myself is some sort of little ankle biters, snapper dog. Like, that's what
You're
I.
gonna be You're gonna be Ziggy.
Yeah. So I have a dog. His name's Ziggy, and he's a multi Yorkshire Terrier. He's a little guy, and he's feisty, and he's gonna live forever. So,
Hey, I got one that might work for you, Ryan.
all right,
What about the Chinese crested dog?
the Chinese.
Do you know
crest-
about them?
I don't. Do they?
Do you want me to
Do they
read it?
meditate?
All right. Here's the write up on Google. The Chinese crested dog is a hairless breed of dog.
Oh, that's hilarious. Okay.
I can't even get through it. Like most hairless dog breeds, the Chinese crested dog comes in 3 varieties: with hair, without hair, and a combination of the two, which can be born in the same litter: the powder puff, the hairless, and the hairy hairless.
Hey,
I think
I
you
can
might be
be-
the hairy hairless.
I can be the powder puff hairy or hairy hairless because I can grow hair. I choose to be bald because I get that dome thing where like it's bald on top and I got hair going all the way around.
Right before Rob read that, I googled hairless dogs, and the first one that came up was American Hairless Terrier.
Okay,
we got
so
a different type.
so it looks like I'm either gonna have to be the hairless terrier or the Chinese crested dog, right? Is that what that thing was called?
Yeah, Chinese crested. Yeah,
Yeah, you know what?
they look kind of cool. They're all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wrote a book and it has the word Zen in it, and I affiliate Zen with like the Chinese, the Japanese culture. So I'm gonna go with the Chinese crested dog.
Plug your book. What's your book
Oh,
called?
the book is called Zenployee: How to Master Your Mind to Create a Happy Work-Life Balance.
Where can you find it?
You can find it on Amazon right now, where we haven't started marketing it, but I guess I just did.
Bada bing, bada boom. All right, good plug.
All right, so I'll go last. It might be the easy way out since I have one, but I'm gonna go with the Irish Setter. My copper dog. He's a good boy. The little write up here on Google, they're a breed of gun dog and family dog, which I love hunting and I love my family. Copper dog loves protecting his girl, my daughter. So just like I do, I think it's a good fit. I'll be the Irish Setter.
I just wish that you had red hair.
Yeah, if I had the red hair, because it's kind of getting longer and Copper has long hair, but no, it's brown. Sorry.
You're getting the grays, so maybe you could start, like combing in some orange
Ooh,
instead
I
of
could.
doing
I could try.
filling it in with black or brown, whatever color your hair is. You can.
Probably look a little weird though. Like black and red. I don't know.
Listen, you never know until you try. I gotta see it.
It's like Falcons colors. Gross.
I also have a question from a listener / my wife.
Oh boy.
Do you pee in the shower?
Who are you asking?
You guys, what are you talking
Oh,
about?
well, I'll
Who's
go
first?
first. I'll
Who's
go
first?
first. 100. Okay. Listen, I 100% do. Every single time I step into the shower, I pee down the drain. Now, people that don't pee in the shower, they're like, "Ew, you're gonna get your pee on you," or like, I don't really understand the other arguments because you wash dirty stuff off you down the drain.
all-
So if you think your pee is
It all
dirty,
goes to the same place too.
yeah, it
No,
all goes
no,
to
no.
the same place.
Nope, cutting you off. Never once peed in the shower. You literally just undress standing next to the toilet.
Why would you waste the water of flushing
Yeah,
when you can
it
just
is,
go in the
And
shower?
it's pretty wasteful. Anthony.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we're taking 15-minute showers where all you do is waste water.
No.
I don't take 15-minute showers. That's a long time.
I
10
take
minutes.
I take a 10-minute shower
All right,
and
10
that's
minutes,
like
fine. Yeah.
5 minutes of shaving my head. So I think that's allowed. But I pee in the shower every time, sometimes twice. I mean, if I'm being
Right.
real.
Well, first of all, then you got a problem. If you're peeing twice in 10 minutes, you got a
Hey,
problem.
you hear that water coming down, and it's just like, oh man,
It's all that coffee he's drinking.
it's all that coffee. There it is. And I drink a
You-
lot of water.
Hold on. You've never peed in the shower ever in your life.
Not that I mean, I'm sure I did when I was a kid, right? When you're taking
Like,
a bath.
you go camping, you pee in the shower. There, nothing.
I pee either outside in the woods or in the toilet.
Okay.
I think it's more gross to go just pee in the woods. Like those plants, the grass, that's not asking for you to pee all over that. The
My
drain,
feet aren't asking me for me to
you
pee all
don't
over them
pee
either.
on your feet, Anthony. If
Can't control where
anything,
it goes. Come on.
this is a sterile liquid coming out. Okay, if
Rob-
you pee on your feet, it's going to clean it.
Rob hasn't given an answer yet.
Oh, I do occasionally. Yeah. I personally think anybody who doesn't is lying. So I think you're lying, but that's
I've never done it.
There's two types of people in this world: the people that pee in the shower and liars.
Yes, there we
Yeah.
go.
If they're,
Break that one down.
you guys know me pretty well. If there's one thing that I am not is afraid to I'm not afraid to embarrass myself. If that's considered embarrassing,
No,
I
I
would
know.
not lie.
True.
You
I would
talked
not lie about
picking
peeing on my.
toenails off.
Yeah, I rip my toenails off with my fingers. You think I'm gonna lie about peeing in the shower?
Well,
All right. So
An-
Anthony is the exception.
I just want Anthony to know that I've spent time at his house before, and I'm telling him right now that there's been pee in your shower, bro. That was me.
What do you mean spent time in my house? We lived together in college for 2 years.
Listen, I'm talking about your nice house that you have now. You became a grown up after college. You got a nice job, and now you have a beautiful house. And I went into that beautiful house, into that nice shower that you have there, and I peed all over it. I probably didn't even aim for the drain. I went everywhere.
That's why we have a guest. Well, no, that's gross. That's where Grayson takes a bath. So that's on you. You can sleep. You can try to sleep with that at night, knowing
Dude,
that you
I feel great. I have a daughter too, and I have one bathtub. So, I mean, put the two and two together.
Well, this kind of, as expected, went off the rails there. So,
Yeah.
well,
One questions. Make sure you guys send some more in so we can keep them going.
we haven't plugged the Twitter yet. So our Twitter is at Ultraflex FFP. Ryan, your Twitter is
At Ultraflex Ryan.
Rob.
Mine
Your
is
Twitter
at
is
Ultraflex Rob.
And Anthony
and mine is blah blah blah. Someone
at Ultraflex Sutton. All right.
It is. Look at that. Look at
You know, if we have any loyal fans, we would know that Anthony's the one that always gets the handles right, and I'm the one that messes it up, and I just saved him. So I feel like I have been redeemed.
Stepping up to the plate, Ryan.
Yeah, baby.
You are redeemed. You can't remember quarterbacks' names tonight, but you remember my Twitter. So hey.
I couldn't remember much of anything tonight. I mean, I don't know what went on.
All right. So next episode, we'll review more of our draft. We're still in the middle of the 4th round, so we'll have some more updates on our teams. We'll be getting closer to the first week of actual preseason. We didn't even talk about the Hall of Fame game, so we can probably discuss that next week as well as from some of the highlights there, if there were any. I think I saw Zamir White was looking explosive, if that counts for anything.
So was Josh Jacobs playing against the 3rd string team on the Jaguars. I mean, I don't think there's much to talk about.
The number 1 overall pick had a sack, which doesn't count for fantasy, but football, I mean, it's
right.
You want to see that. So we'll review all of that. I think we have. Do we have some outro music?
We do. Are you guys ready for this? I want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we look forward to talking to you in a few days. You guys ready for this?
Oh, can't wait.
Bye.